Here is a live look right now from Los Angeles as President Trump wraps up his visit to California with a roundtable discussion at a local firehouse. He opened by saying the federal government is standing behind you 100%. He also said he's signing an executive order on water management to open up the valves to have water flowing from Northern California to Southern California. Let's listen in.
At least 16 times the federal appropriation for the CDBG program that helps people rebuild. And I know you've talked about policies of California that you're not a fan of.
All right, again, that is a live look inside a firehouse where he is holding a discussion with several stakeholders, including LA Mayor. You can see there, Karen Bass. Devin Feely is following all of the developments from his trip to LA for us, Devin.
Yeah, and the president arrived at LAX earlier this afternoon, and he headed straight to the Palisades Fire burn zone for a first-hand look at the damage. At least 11 people were killed when that fire broke out in the community of Pacific Palisades back on January 7th. It spread incredibly quickly, powered by hurricane-force winds, and today the president and First Lady met with first responders and with people who lost their homes in that firestorm. Governor Gavin Newsom was there at LAX to greet President Trump when he landed. President Trump has repeatedly blamed Newsom for the disaster, claiming that there would have been a lot more water to fight those fires if the state had repealed environmental protections. Today, the pair promised to work together to get Southern California the help that it needs.
We want to get it fixed. We want to get the problem fixed. And there'll be some ways, but it's like you got hit by a bomb, right?
Yeah.
Like you got hit by a bomb.
We're going to need your support. We're going to need your help. You were there for us during COVID. I don't forget that. And I have all the expectations that we'll be able to work together.
Earlier in the day, President Trump placed conditions on offering federal aid to the region. He's demanding that California adopt voter ID laws. He also repeated his demand to, quote, water be released from the Delta and redirected to the Central Valley in Southern California.
Right now, the people don't have a voice because you don't know who's voting, and it's very corrupt. And we also want them to release the water. If they released the water, they wouldn't have had a problem.
Those comments from the president came during a visit to North Carolina earlier this morning. He was meeting with victims of another natural disaster, Hurricane Helene. President Trump also signed an executive order while there to reform, overhaul, or flat out dismantle FEMA. FEMA is, of course, the federal agency responsible for responding to natural disasters. The next stop for the president is Las Vegas. He has a rally scheduled there for tomorrow, Ann.
Thank you, Devin. Some wildfire evacuees returning home are facing a new threat this evening. Rain. While it is desperately needed throughout Southern California, there are new concerns that rain could trigger flash flooding or mudslides in some of the areas already badly burnt. Officials are handing out free sandbags to residents living in the foothills near the Eaton fire.
Best bet is not to be in that home when it rains. The most conservative thing to do is to not be in that home when it rains, if we have not come and seen you yet.
It's been almost 9 months now since LA received any significant rainfall, and First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Hagan is tracking that wet weather. It really is a double sword. Obviously, they need moisture, but it's just how much?
On balance, this is going to be a very beneficial event for Southern California, but there's the potential for a couple of thunderstorms to pop up that if they're in exactly the wrong spot over one of those burn scars, then we would get into those debris flow and mudslide potential issues. But overall, what they need is rain. What they're going to get is rain. Let's take a look at the floor map here and track that rain as we head through the weekend. It's a storm system dropping basically straight down from the north, so that doesn't give it access to a whole lot of moisture as it transits the Bay Area, but we do have a chance for a few showers in our neck of the woods as well. We'll zoom in for a closer look momentarily, but the bulk of the rain is going to take shape once the storm system is positioned where it can grab some moisture from out over the Pacific and send that into Southern California. And this is going to be some snow at the higher elevations. Let's go to the monitor here and take a look at some of the advisories that are in effect in the higher elevations above Los Angeles. Winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings are actually in effect for some of those areas that were under red flag warnings less than 24 hours ago. So we're talking about some serious weather whiplash in Southern California.